Hello everyone, this is ThePandaPhotographer from 646studios.com. Wow, that was loud. Okay everyone, thank you for tuning in today. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend better than I did. I was sick. I'm still sick. My temperature right now is 108, but I think I can manage right now. So it's but thank you for everyone for supporting while I was sick and telling me to get better. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. As a photographer that is part of this community, I really do appreciate the time that you guys spent to text me and let me know that you guys are worried and I should get some rest. But over the weekend, I started to work on some things in Premiere Pro, and you guys might hate this video. You guys might say, why did you do that? And I did say that in part 1, part 2, and part 3, that things may change over time. I have repeatedly said that I might change a lot. And while I was in the hospital bed, I decided that I was going to change quite a bit, a few things. And I did that in one day. Because hospital bed, did you know that some US hospitals would charge you for Wi-Fi and also meals? I thought that was included with the bill that you get when you go to a hospital, but apparently that's a separate entity in a hospital. It's kind of strange. I didn't know UW was doing that because I normally don't go to the hospital room quite often. I always take care of myself, but yep. But thank you guys. If you guys want to support the channel, there's a PayPal donation link in the descriptions down below. It really does help me out as a travel photographer to help me pay for bills, also help me stay upload and also keep these lights on. It really does help me to keep the lights on here on YouTube and other social medias like Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Mixi, and much more. I do appreciate it, guys. We're going to start here in just a few seconds. I like to play one track, one music. Because this channel is all about music, photography, and video. It all blends together nicely. But with that said, everyone, yes, roll into this intro. Alright guys, so we are in Adobe Premiere Lightroom. And I have changed quite a bit of things, but before we start, let me make sure that this is working. So just in case, if you guys do want to live stream with your studio microphone with, like, say a Zoom H4n Pro or some type of better private device, you gotta go in here into the audio hardware so we can hear, so you guys can hear, and we gotta switch this to that device. So in this case, I'm switching into the H4 so you guys can also hear. And I hope you guys like that new intro. I really do hope you like the new intro, because I also was doing that in one day. I decided that I need to spice things up for 2019. The old intro that you have seen was 2018, and the old intro before that was 2017, and the old intro before that was 2016 and 2015, 2014, 2013. I had so many intros, guys. It's just blah, blah, blah. But what I'm showing you right now is what I have changed. Sound effects. animations. I'm gonna explain everything. Just want you guys to watch what I have done. So the 150 Irix micro lens is a very beefy camera. Let me tell you why it's a beefy camera. Okay, so you guys are probably saying, oh, that's so panda of you to do a panda comment on the video, because I made a mistake in the video and I said camera, not lens. So I decided to make it more comical in a sense to correct myself. So how I did that was I made it in Photoshop, and as you can see, I made it in Photoshop. So if you guys are wondering, like, how did you do that? I just made it in Photoshop. That's all. I took a panda photo off the internet, and well, this was actually Photostock. I had to get it, and what I did was take the little the quote cloud or comment cloud, or whatever you want to call it, and decided to correct myself. I was going to be a little bit funny with it in this video. I was going to, but I decided, let me not just be harsh on myself. But then again, it might be funny to you guys that I corrected myself in the long term. But yeah, I decided to do that, and you can see quite a bit, a few of it. Let's do a comparison right but now. The sound effects are kind of cool. So let's go back here. Let me expand the bar. You can see how much work went into this. All right. It was always that intro, yet you gotta like bring in your audience when you're doing your videos. When you edit videos, you kind of want to bring in the audience and make them be more attracted to what you're going to bring to the table when this video starts. So you gotta pull them in somehow. And I'm trying to do that. Trust me, as you progress and editing, you're gonna become really good at it. You're gonna become so great at it that you're gonna find your niche. And it's important that you do. But in this case, this is about a photography lens called the 150. This is part 4. And as I said to you guys before, I was going to change a lot. So let's go back. See, this timeline is weird. Alright, so I also changed the animation in my intro. And I also changed this animation. If you guys notice that the front has changed, I'm going to keep it as one front the whole entire experience this year. Use one front. And if you are a YouTube content creator and you're editing videos, it's always key to keep the same front for your thumbnails and always keep the same front as much as possible for your videos. Because if you're just switching fronts back and forth, it does kind of like, it just depends on the content too. But if you're doing product reviews, you want to kind of keep it the same front so people are interested, so they know when they see your live streams or either when they go to YouTube. For instance, just go into YouTube right now and say if you saw my video all the time and you can identify my videos from other people, like, oh, that's Keki's video, that's the ThePandaPhotographer's video, oh, he posted a new video up, okay, I can click that, because you can tell from my fronts, you can tell from what I'm trying to present, and it would be in the recommendations. So, or it could be showing more or who's popular and stuff like that. But you guys get the idea. But as I said, guys, I have a website at 646studios.com. Please do go to the website. Please do share and like my content. Hit the like button if you like what you hear so far. I really do appreciate it. I have a portfolio here, but not all my photos are on my website. But I do have some tutorials here for photographers and some for videographers, video guide tutorials and basic photography, cinematic film, but I gotta update that one because new cameras are coming out. So, but it still kind of stands when it comes down to the rule of thirds, shooting at the right shutter speed, shooting at 24 frames a second, and much more. But there's a PayPal donation link right here. You don't need a PayPal account to donate. It really does keep the lights on here. I really do appreciate it. that you guys support the channel that way, and I really do appreciate it. But I also have Instagram. I suddenly just rose over 2,100 followers like in the last 3 days. I haven't really done anything but post photos, but I guess people like what they see, and this is why it's always good to post once in mid-morning and once in the evenings. Don't continuously upload on Instagram all the time, and try to use different hashtags and try to use less than 20 hashtags. Don't go over 20 hashtags, because my friend Howdy Saber is going through this issue that people are now paying attention to his Instagram now. He saw a lot of impressions fall off, and not a lot of people are clicking or leaving comments. But I told him it happens once in a while. It's just we always go to a funk. But that's me, the Panda Photographer. Go check it out. I'm also on Facebook. If you just Googled Keiki Alexander, the Panda Photographer, I should pop up. You should see this pictured here. You should see this exact pictured. Okay, and this is me, and I'm on Flickr. Like I said, Flickered here. I still use Flickr, so but other than that, guys, let's go back into here and let me explain what I did here and what came over my mind when I was trying to edit this video. It was just basically like this. I was sitting in the hospital bed, and I came to the realization that what I just did for part 1, part 2, part 3 is just bullshit. It's like I need to add these photos and show people what I did and what I transpired over those last 2 days, what I need to represent me as a travel photographer. So I decided to not add the whole entire video, add half of the video of this review on this lens. I add a adjustment layer, and that adjustment layer has a film convert. I still left the film convert in here, don't get me wrong. Oops, let's undo that. I still have film convert, but as you can see, I still have the keyframes locked in. As you can see, the keyframes are locked in. So therefore, when I rendered this, as you see it before you, it comes out clean. Colors are not shifting, there's no artifacting whatsoever. And I also added, like I said, my little animation of my logo, my title, The Panda Photographer, which is now trademarked, but the art of photography, and you can see now, you guys also notice that I kept this transition as well. Now I can do a little bit better with the transition. I can make it look more transparent, or I can not make it look more transparent, but decided that I was going to go with the logo and the brand. What I mean by that is Irix has a brand color, which is black, white, and blue. And well, it's actually quad-core. It's like that discolored, basically. Okay, if you look at the unboxing of the video that I did when I first got the lens, the same color is the same transition colors as you see. It's the bezel that you see before you're around the transition. I decided to change that. Now you guys are probably wondering, how did I do that? So if I go into that transition, see, and by the way, I downloaded these Adobe Premiere Pro transitions from Chung. He's another video maker. He provides these for free. So what I did was change the color, you see, from start to fit to end, and that's what I did. And I added a fade out on both, so therefore you have a better understanding how I did the glow. Now I added that to it because I wanted an alpha glow. This is called an alpha glow. If I remove it, you see, if I remove it, there's no alpha glow. That's called alpha glow. So I added an alpha glow with that transition. So this is a radical wipe. So that's how I was able to do that and add the glow. So therefore It looks better. It looks more like an Irix review because that's the scheme colors. Like me, my colors are technically black, white, and red because panda. And yes, I like red pandas too, but I'm panda. But that's what I was going for. And then right here, I just faded. How I just did that is just go into sequence and add a video transition. It's simple, easy, but keep in mind that you can also change by double clicking, and with the scroll button on your mouse, you can go up or you could go down, but that's up to you. So it makes it easier for you to dial in how much you want the transition to fade into the clip. You want 30 seconds, you want 15 seconds, you want it much faster, you want it a little bit slower, you want it more slower. That's up to you. And right here also, I added another adjustment layer. Same thing, film convert, but there's no afterglow. Just changing the colors, changing the highlights, the midtones, the shadows. And you can see from the box why I did the transition that you saw before. This transition, when it's faded in, right there, this is the reason why. You see the color scheme of the box? I wanted to match that color scheme to the box as much as possible. I need a drink of water because my throat is drying out. Excuse me for one moment. Ugh. I hate being sick. I haven't been this sick in a long time. But yeah, I decided to go with the scheme, with the video, and show the box. Now, what I'm trying to do is show the delicacy of this transition. What I mean by that is like, hey, I just got this box, just got this package. I'm going to just show this. It looks kind of mellowed. And then, now, keep in mind, what you just heard is a sound effect called soup. Soup is where, and if I show you my, let me show you my project list here. As you can see, clips are numbered by order and by, they're all in order, and they are all categorized as 1 through 1 through 30. There are 30 clips in total, but in those clips are the original footage name that was taken. So originally this is clip 34, but I put clip 30 because this is how many I use in the process. So, and you can see from, if you go down to the audio, where is it? If we just click on this one, I got a pop. Okay, where is it? Uh-oh. This is swoosh right here. There you go. No, it's the same. Where's my swoosh? Give me 1 second to find it. That should have been a swoosh. There we are. There we are. See? So how I actually did this clip is I actually, when I started doing post-production, I actually cut it. So what I would do is go in here, open the file a little bit larger. Let's go to it. And what I'll do is take my razor tool, okay, and I would cut just pieces of it. But what I would do is go in here, really, just use this bar and just like cut this part out, right about there, to get it precisely at right at Q. So let's see here. And what I want to show you guys is how I did that. Pay attention to the transition. So I started the transition here, and what I was looking for was I'm gonna go back really quickly here. Right when it comes into, right when the fade is coming in, that's when I take the highest point of the swoosh of the sound, which is right here. This point right here is where I'm focusing right there when this fades in, and at the end I do the exact same thing. And now, as you see, now my video is getting more aggressive, more like, oh, get into the song. But I want you guys to feel the song, I want you guys to feel the review. I'm sorry, I'm still a little bit on the way. I'm trying to explain it as I vision it, and I'm trying to let you guys understand how I see it. Now, pay attention to these keyframes in the song. See these high points in the song? I'm trying to go with the flow of the beat. So you guys have a better understanding now how I wanted to give you a better presentation of how I edit the videos and how I wanted to bring my art to life as an amateur videographer. Like I said, I'm not a pro at this whatsoever. I'm self-taught. I have self-taught myself how to edit videos. It took me quite a bit of time. Keep in mind, I used to edit inline aggressive and snowboard videos, and that's how I started long ago. So I do have a history on it, and I was back then was self-taught. I never went to school for this. I went to school for neuroscience and psychology education. So this is something that like I end up improving over time as the years, you know, have passed by, and I got much older and I wanted to do something more. But as a photographer, I'm also wanting to present my work. So, and these clips here, these are all adjustment layers. Each of these adjustment layers are different because of the lighting situation of all these clips. Say for instance, like this, it's different from the previous clip, or this clip of the aperture open, wide open at f2.8. Look at that. Now keep in mind, this Irix 150 lens is not scratch proof, but the front element is not scratch proof, which I'm going to discuss in this video. But I wanted to show how much bokeh you get from this, and I'm going to explain everything in the video once it's done and once it's uploaded, that you guys can see it later on in the future. I just need to get a camera, a Canon camera, to shoot with this lens, and I'm giving it a little bit more time. If you guys can help me with that, I can rent a camera from a company, and I can actually just finish my review as promised, because I know this is taking much longer, but there's not many reviews other than Dave McKeaton from the UK. He's the one that actually did his initial review, but he had a test sample. This is actually a finished product, because in the video I described it that everything, they had some tweaks. They had to fix some tweaks with this lens, like the focus lock mechanism had a little bit of movement when it comes down to the focus. They improved that. They improved a lot of things. But as I said, these clips took some time to get to. I had to adjust this clip as well, because you can see there's a warm light and there's a cool there's a warm light and there's a cool light. Well, there's a daylight and there's a cool light. Okay, so the Kelvin temperature on both lights are changing. I just wanted to bring more of a color scheme out when I do these videos. So if you do product videos, you do want to actually, illuminate your subject, which is your product. which as accurate light. I definitely recommend bicolor LEDs if you can get your hands on. Aputure has really small ones that are really powerful. And I will link those in the descriptions later after this video. They might be in the descriptions now, so go check it out. Because I did leave some descriptions to some cameras and some lenses and hardware. But Aputure has some good ones. But I just found another cheap one for $50 that is much more powerful than the Aputure MX. And it's $50. And I'm going to link that in the descriptions later. But just try to do as great lighting as possible for your subject or your product, because it helps separate you from the other YouTubers. And as I said, take your time editing your videos as much as possible. And you can see that the back of the lens does have this is called a CPU. This gives you control of the aperture blades, and it tells you the aperture. So it is still a manual lens, don't get me wrong, but it's still you're still able to actually control the aperture and what aperture you're shooting at. So yes, you still got control in the aperture, but it's a manual focus lens. So, but yeah, these are the clips. These are the close-up shots and everything else. But you can see the product itself. Now this is a beefy camera, and you can see the color scheme. Now you understand why I'm going with that blue, black, white color scheme. And I kind of like the color scheme actually. So, but and then what I did here, now keep in mind, right when this fades, right about there, you see, boom, you see with this here, right here, and audio 4 is where you can definitely see that there is the swoosh sound effect right at Q when this is passing or pushing. It's called a push. I'm pushing the front away. So you can download these from the YouTube. If we go to the YouTube, let's go to YouTube beta. If it loads, we can go to features, we can go to audio library, and they have tons of sound effects here. So you can download tons of sound effects. If you can't find it, there's other websites that can provide it for free. So keep in mind, some sound effects are copyrighted, so make sure that you do not, I repeat, you do not download any copyrighted material. And if you're adding songs into your videos, please, if YouTube has this list, which I'm going to show you right now, you go in here and just say I want something. Let's do a duration of 30 seconds. You see with this icon that says create a comment. So if you are using these songs on YouTube, make sure in the description that you put it, the title, the artist, and the title, and make sure that you also choose when you edit your photos that you choose to, for instance, I'm going to show you why that is a must. You have to do as YouTube says, or your video will be kind of ghosted. Alright? And I mean by ghosted is that YouTube is seeing that you're not respecting the agreement that you used the song, but you didn't actually do as you were told to do, to credit the artist without being copyrighted or demonetized. So, like this video, for instance, I used one of those songs, and what I did in my advanced sentence, okay, is the license and rights of ownership. I put Creative Commons for a reason, because I'm using a song that is actually written by an artist. Now the artist actually is given permission to use it for free, and YouTube sees that, the algorithm sees that, they see it, and they say, oh, okay, you did everything right. And you can see in the information, or in the song, or in the video, doesn't matter, in the video or in the descriptions, it's there, so people understand. And you can see here, dances don't relay by the twins. So therefore, the twin music tom. Oh my god, I need to get better. I should be rested. Seriously, I should be rested. Dances don't rely by the twins musician com. Okay, you can see the website and the artist right here. So I did do both. So it helps the video get seen, and which this is an error. You see that, YouTube? You guys see this before you right now. You see this, guys? This is an error. This is what YouTube needs to fix. See, it says I have 0 views, but if you go back, oops, let me just save this just in case I change something. If you go back to the video, okay, you see you got 65 views. So that is inaccurate information by YouTube. This is why YouTube needs to fix the algorithm. This is why there's a lot of bugs. But you can see that I use certain hashtags, certain things, and everything I have recorded is in HD or 4K. Recently, I did a 4K video. I'm not sure which one it was. Not quite sure which one it was. I need another drink of water. But let's go back into the text. So all the text that you see before you is done in Photoshop. So let's go back. You can see what I did. You can see the progress of me using same text like here, the review. Okay, I use this particular text. I save the text. If I need to write a word, or if I need to rewrite something for the video, I use the same text PSD file and Photoshop, and continue rewriting over and over and over and over and over again, and saving that file so I know where it is. And I do have an archive of that, so when I save as, you can see a whole bunch of it right here, whole bunch of it. So I saved those for a reason. Now they do take up a lot of space in your storage, but this is why I said make sure that if you are going to have are using SSDs, I recommend using SSDs when you're doing video projects, because read and write speeds is so much better when it has to render. Now it also takes up a lot of CPU power. So just in case you guys want to know what kind of CPU I am using, just in case you are new here, I am using a Lenovo Y700 with a quad-core 6700 HQ. I've undervolt my CPU for better temperatures. I'm also using a video card as well. NVIDIA GeForce 960. I got 12 gigabytes of RAM. I'm only using SSDs. So, and I can turn on my fan. If I need more cooling power, I can do that. You might hear the fan. Now I'm going to turn it off. And just to let you guys see, I did undervolt my CPU for better temperatures. You guys might not know what undervolting means. Undervolting me is when you get any CPU or desktop computer or laptop goes to these problems. Now, take this with a grain of salt. CPU clock speeds is something of a marketing thing, but they don't tell you about why you should undervolt. And undervolt keeps the CPU at a certain temperature and stable, so you don't have problems throttling when rendering or programming. When you don't undervolt, you might see some inconsistencies within the throttle and CPU utilization. So this is why I undervolt every time I'm editing video, or I'm editing photos, or I'm processing photos, or I'm exporting photos. And this keeps the temperature down, but I could have a consistently 100% CPU utilization. If I don't undervolt, the CPU utilization just goes up and down, up and down, up and down, which means it might take longer than usual. So do the test yourself. I have done the test myself. I have done this before. I showed you guys in the video before. I did it before and after. The same video, rendered it, exported it. When I undervolted, I've saved 9 minutes of exporting time than when I didn't actually undervolt. So it does make a difference when editing large video files more than like 15 minutes. but also I have ability to control my fan, so this is why I use the Lenovo's nerve sense, and I can turn on the extreme cooling power too to make it much cooler, but I normally don't do that. It does have a good sense and how to, you know, keep my CPU cool, and plus I'm undervolted, so it makes it much more cooler. But the benefit of undervolted is when you're not doing any power intensive things, okay, you get the sense that it will go to a clock speed of 1.6. So it's not just saving your power on your laptop, but it's also not consuming power that you don't necessarily need. And it also helps for gamers too, keep in mind. But I'm going to show you another tip, what I did. And if I go into control panel, it's supposed to be on this one, but I have a custom power settings on my laptop. Now, if I go into the advanced power settings, you see ThePandaPhotographer. I'm going to tell you right now, as someone that has been messing with and built-in gaming computers, gaming workstations for a long time, this is what I did to the processor state and maximum minimum. You can see that our battery is at 0, but plugged in is at 100, and our maximum is at 100. So it definitely helps to keep the CPU at 100% consistently when you're plugged in. Now, the reason why it's plugged in and on battery at maximum power, because say if I don't want to plug in my my battery brick into my computer, into my laptop, and I'm rendering something that I have to render something like a short blog for YouTube, it's going to use all the power necessary, but it's going to drain the battery from my laptop. So keep that in mind. That is the downfall. It will drain lots of power from your battery when you don't have it plugged in. So if I were you, if you are doing editing, please have it plugged in. But if you want to do like me, I have a video that demonstrated that I edited a video. If we go back maybe 3 pages, I think. I'm trying to go back with you really quickly, guys. I don't want to really bore you. I'm just trying to give you guys a sense of how I work as a travel photographer. See this video right here. I edit this photo on a moving bus, travelogue. This is why I use that power setting. I program my computer. Yes, this takes time to understand how to program your computer, but trust me, at the end of the day, the end result, you're going to see a big improvement when editing photos, even without battery or without a battery brick. The power that you set up for your laptop does matter when editing, so your CPU doesn't choke. But it's also to have a dedicated graphics card. Now, if you guys want to see a video about that and how I actually process also those settings, I have a video on how to do OBS. Now, that video, if you go back to the main page, this Wi-Fi here is very slow. I don't like it. See, the best settings for OBS. I made a video on how to do all this and record in 1080p 30 frames a second and 1080p 60 frames a second. Right now you're seeing this in 1080p 30 frames a second, so, and not 720p, and people make that mistake and still live stream at 720p, but I streamed at 1080p 30 frames or 60 frames a second, and this is what you're seeing before you right now as I go along with this live stream. Now, we've been 20 minutes into this live stream, and have you seen any hiccups? Do you guys have any issues with the quality? You guys let me know in the comments. I'm just trying to give you guys make sense how I work and how I do my job. This is my job. This is how I keep my lights on here at YouTube. This is how I get to pay for a lot of the advertising, and my website. I still have to pay for, you know, the website to be up all the time. I gotta pay for all of this stuff. I also have to try to pay for marketing when I want to get clients in the spring and summertime, or try to do the best I can. You know, it's a part of all this, and having this, you know. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys, my video graphics card is overclocked. I am overclocking my GPU. I'm at 60 megahertz at the core clock, base clock, and my memory is at 400. But my voltage offset is at plus 18.8 millivolts. So, and I apply that. I save that profile every time. I don't change it. That's a sweet spot for it. That's the max I can go on this graphics card. This is a laptop, by the way, so yeah, I'm pushing it. I'm getting more memory, but I only use it when I'm actually editing. I don't use it. Well, I also use it when it comes to that point. I'm also using it when I'm also gaming. When I do want to play League of Legends or StarCraft or a first-person shooter, or when I'm just bored and I want to just play with a game or a racing game, because I do like racing games, I use this. But when I'm not using it, when I'm just browsing the internet, I don't have it active at all at 24/7. I don't, and I don't recommend it. So, because there's a demigration process with CPUs and GPUs. Trust me, I had a Gigabyte that never had that issue. But you don't want artifacting to start happening when you're actually gaming, and it would happen. Not all GPUs and CPUs are made equally in the same. So when you overclock, you may get a different overclock than I do. Some people have gotten higher overclocks than me using the same graphics card and the same laptop. So like I said, not all GPUs and CPUs are made equally. But yeah, this is how I edit the photos, and this is how I actually organize everything. Here's the song track. If you guys want to know the song, then the two songs that I'm using here. Okay, Usher Flammable is the artist, and the title is September Past. So that's one of the songs I'm using, and this is how I'm able to add that text. I might add it later on in the video descriptions. Well, I will add that in the video description, but so you guys can search for it on the YouTube's audio archives. But I don't have to add that information into the descriptions, because it's not a it's not a Creative Commons, so therefore don't have to support the artist. But I still rather support the artist, because the artist is giving out free content. It's best that you support artists in all categories. Doesn't matter. Give an artist credit. So people say, hey, I like that song. So people don't have to leave a comment, and well, they still will leave a comment below and say, hey, thank you for leaving that information about the audio and the artist. It makes it much easier for someone to look up that information and download the song that you use, so they can use it in their content. So, but yeah. So the 150 Irix micro lens is a very beefy camera. Let me tell you why it's a beefy camera. And see, I said camera and I was supposed to say lens, and I hate when I make mistakes like that. And this is why I made this little panda joke. I'm dissing myself, just to let you guys know that. Yes, I'm letting you guys know that now. So when people watch the initial review, they won't know until one day they come across this video and say, oh, I see why you made that. You're kind of joking about yourself because you made that mistake. You can see the expression on my face, on the panda's face, like, huh? Let's do a comparison right now with the Pateron, so you guys have a better understanding. That's the Pateron SP90mm micro lens. This is the Irix 150. As you know, this one is much chunkier. As you can see, this is using a magnesium alloy material on the bottom and plastic on the top, but it's completely dust and weather resistant. Now, you see how I lit up my products, both camera lens and the Irix lens. You see where there's two key lights, right? But what you don't see is a third one that's above it. It's very subtle, because it was too much, I think, in my opinion, when I was recording it. And for now, mind you, I'm recording this from a freaking smartphone. Yes, from a smartphone. Using ProMovie, mind you. So I'm not sponsored by ProMovie, but I'm doing this with ProMovie using some lenses that I have for my smartphone with my iPhone 6s. So I did make a tutorial on ProMovie, okay, ladies and gentlemen. So just to let you guys know, I use ProMovie for a lot of my recordings for my B-rolls. It gives you absolutely control over your shutter speed, ISO, white balance. It has anamorphic features, but anamorphic features are used with anamorphic lenses, so I definitely recommend getting an anamorphic lens for your smartphone to already get the benefits from using that feature. And trust me, you will love anamorphic if you're doing like a short film or a documentary. You want to get that flare into your footage. Trust me, anamorphic features are amazing in lenses, by the way. So is as the Tamron, but the Tamron is much lighter. But the Irix is much heavier. So, just for comparison. So, its focus ring has a rubberized design where it has... See, another one. This time a little bigger. You can see said that I made a mistake. I didn't mention in the video. Firefly and Blackstone features are mixed between. It's a hybrid of the two. I should have just posted say it's a hybrid of the Firefly and the Firestone feature, but that's what I did. But guys, I just wanted to show you. Uh-oh, my throat's getting dry again. I just wanted to show you guys in the real world, you know, these videos that YouTubers create. The professional YouTubers, not the professional YouTubers. I'm not talking about Logan Paul, because he has a team. He doesn't edit his own videos. Cause we know that, right? And all those other YouTubers. We talking about the videographers and photographers and the videographers that put in the work to edit these kind of videos, like Marcus Brownie or those tech viewers. These videos take time to make, but basically the better you become at editing these videos, the faster you can do it, the better. And I did this all in a day and a half. So I'm you gotta say that's pretty impressive to do this in a day and a half. But then again, I know YouTubers can do it in a day, or maybe less than a day. So, but then again, you got to think about my conditions. I'm a travel photographer. I don't have an office. Everywhere is my office. The university is my office. My lawyer's office is my office. This library is my office. Outside is my office. When I have to edit photos outside, and it's raining right now. So you got to think about how I, as a travel photographer, had to use and utilize my environment as my office. And yeah, and do this all in a day, and the kind of situation I am in, you have to say to yourself, like, am I able to do that? Some people are not able to do that. Some people might not want to do that because there's a lot of risk involved. There's a lot of theft involved. People would steal your stuff in a heartbeat. And let me tell you, this is not a safe place and not a safe world to be in. I'd rather be in Japan because it's pretty safe when it comes down to leaving your stuff around. But when I'm in the States, you just don't leave your stuff around. Ever. Not even in a hotel. I got even a camera stolen from a hotel back in 2014, 2015. So, and that should definitely give you an idea. And what happened to me last year in San Jose, I got my drone stolen. I got stuck up at gunpoint. People just look at what you have and they see you all the time, and that's what happened in San Jose. Like, and that's why I'm not saying that I won't go back there. I will, because it's a great university, but you got people out there that are really willing to just destroy your hard work and all the work that you accomplish and all the gear that you accomplish to get, and they would take it away, and I have to start back up. And this is an opportunity to let you guys know, in the real world, as a travel photographer, this is what I have to go through, and it's not a joke. And this is why I make fun of the situation, but there are other videographers out there and other wannabe videographers that just buy gear and just show up but never post their work online, that always talk the most garbage comments or try to give you some professional advice when they never been in your situation before or never have been in your situation before. They're not, for me, being a dual citizen and traveling around the world, they never been in my shoes. They never been outside. They don't speak multiple languages, or they're not bilingual, by the way. They don't understand what I go through in these times, and trying to present this kind of work is not easy. This lens company gave me an opportunity to review this lens. It's an opportunity for me. I'm not trying to screw this up. When people try to give you advice and tell you, oh, you should do this, you should do that, no, follow your heart. Follow what your heart tells you to do. Don't follow someone you not. This is the thing. I'm not saying you should not follow people. There are people that you should follow that you respect. That you're like, yeah, I want to take that idea. Something that you heard that person, that professional photographer is doing. You see what that person is doing. And this is the person that posts their content, posts their work on the daily, communicates with the community. Always give a professional advice because he tells you this is what I did on shoot. It shows you what they did on shoot, like David Oyster or Gary Undone or the Watsons, or I can go on and on. But if there's someone out there that don't hardly post their photos or their videos and just go on people's live stream and talk so much trash about camera companies, and they don't know a thing about what the camera company is doing outside of photography, like Canon, I'm kind of disappointed. But I also want to reflect on that as well, because recently David Oyster posted a video about how Canon, let me just look it up. Canon, what was it? Canon hired. Oops, why did I put 2 H's? Hired photographer. I'm not sure where I saw that post, because this person didn't have enough Canon fired. Sorry, let me just do that instead. Canon fired photographer for not having many followers. Canon did something that I'm really disappointed, and I have to say that for Canon to hire a photographer and then change their mind and say that you don't have over 50,000 followers, it's a disgrace of a company. That Canon should really take the time out and evaluate the whole methodology about how they do business, because just because someone doesn't have 50,000 followers doesn't mean that they are respected. Some professional photographers do not like to do Instagram because so many people are reusing their photos. Some people are just taking photos. Oops, this is the wrong article. Man. Or not. 50K. Oh, there we go. This keyboard, I'm still getting used to it. There it is. I think this is it. Canon dropped me because I don't have 50,000 Instagram followers. This person is an influencer. This person influences people to do what is necessary. You don't need to have 50,000 followers to influence people. You can influence 10 people, and out of those 10 people, 5 will become successful. That is an influencer. And those numbers over time will change and become increasingly larger. So what is Canon's decision making behind this? Because what, they losing their market share when it comes down to the camera market? Why is Canon so fixated on this when they have their hands into the medical field? I know this because I used to be a medical student here. I used to work for Covance, and all we did was use Canon hardware, MRI scan machines, We use a whole bunch of Canon cameras for looking at the optics in someone's eye. We use a whole bunch of Canon hardware. So why does Canon have to do this to an influencer, someone that's trying to make it in this world, and probably already has made it in this world? And after this, I'm pretty sure this person here has gotten more followers, and now Canon feels the burn. Because let's think about it. After this article went up, I'm pretty sure this person has more than 1,000 followers now. So think about what you do as a photographer. Think about what you are doing to create content. And it's not about sponsorship. It's not about being recognized. It's about if you're doing something and someone hires you and then they fire you because you don't have enough followers, that's saying to you, this is not the company that I want to work with. I want to work with a company that doesn't care about those numbers. They care about my work more than the numbers. Because they see potential. They see an art form. They see something that they want to help me with. Canon is not doing that. Canon doesn't want to work with someone. But obviously they did it because they obviously said something to themselves and said, hey, this person does amazing work. And then they realize, oh shit, this person doesn't have 50,000 followers. But let me ask Canon a question. Why did you hire the photographer in the first place? You had to look at the Instagram before this happened. Am I right or wrong? So, for that said, this is Canon's mistake. And this is Canon's loss. Because this artist could have just done something really special for Canon. But now, this artist is probably going to not use Canon products anymore. This artist is not going to do anything to help Canon in the future. You just lost another photographer, Canon, for doing such a really childish, troublesome behavior. Did I say that right? I didn't think I said that right. I want to unleash some anger, but I don't want to because this is YouTube. YouTube is cracking down on the language being set on content. But for Canon to make this stupid mistake, and I'm gonna see if we can get her Instagram here. Oh, come on. You telling me you fired this photographer? Oh my goodness. Let's check out her page. Let's just check her page out. Let's give her a shout out here. Moments. I like her website better than mine. It's way better than mine, so to be honest with you. I'm just lazy with my website. It's not that I'm lazy, I'm just a one-man army. But look at that. I like this. Okay, the engagements. Family portraits. She's definitely using Canon, because I can tell this is Canon colors. Definitely Canon colors. Oh, you gotta click on the video. Okay, I get it. Nice eye contact. Nice. These are nice. But if you guys want to contact her, give her some love. This is an email right there. If you guys want to hire her as a wedding photographer, engagement, family, that's her number right there. It's her email. So show some love. Let's go to her Instagram. Oh, see that? Look at that number. Boom. She rules. Let's follow. We follow you, girl. We got your back. The community, the photography community got your back. And we're gonna go to her YouTube page. We're gonna follow her there as well.
I saved money with Liberty Mutual's customized insurance. Some of it went towards a family trip. I can't say where.
Okay, this is 48 minutes long, but you guys can go watch it yourselves and check it out. You guys know where she is now, but this is her Instagram. and I just want you guys to see her in the flesh. But this is Instagram. I'm pretty sure she said she had about 1,000 followers, and now look at that. That number grew double since this article went out. I'm pretty sure that what she's doing as a photographer, as you can see before you, it's amazing. I would say this is amazing. Yeah, this is all amazing. This is really I'm sorry, Canon, but you just lost potential. You just lost an allied, and this was the biggest mistake you probably would have done. Why you didn't hire freaking Peter McKinnon to do your video, whatever project that you had in store? You didn't actually go TubeBuddy to do it for you? Why? That's the question I want to know as well. But we also want to know, we understand that you want to give other photographers credit, but just to, because they don't have 50,000 followers, they're not Peter McKinnon, okay? No one wants to be Peter McKinnon. We also don't want to be like him for a reason, and that reason is because we all have our own style. We may listen to the man about certain things that might make sense when it comes to the art of photography, but no one wants to be like Peter McKinnon. We want to be ourselves, and this is why Canon is losing all their photographers. And did you realize that most of Canon's photographers actually went to Sony and Nikon now? Do you realize that Sony has not attacked Nikon? Nikon hasn't attacked Sony. But did you realize that Sony and Nikon has attacked Canon? Now, Panasonic has attacked Canon. Because you bring out the EOS R, and I'm sorry, but that camera's a piece of shit. It's a piece of crap. I would buy the S1 from Panasonic over that camera, and the reason why I would say I would definitely buy that is this is a wise decision. Why? Okay, actually, let's just do that. Ugh, I can't type like this. What is going on? Okay, this keyboard. I'm sick of your keyboard. S1. What's wrong with this damn thing? And let's see if we can get S1 here. Okay. The Panasonic Lumix DC S1 mirrorless full frame camera is a better camera overall. Yes, it's a little pricey over the S7 III, but for what it does, and we're not even going to talk about Sony because this is not a competition. This is a no-brainer. Would you buy the Canon EOS R or would you buy the Panasonic? Which one would you buy? Would you want to shoot full frame and still get the benefits of shooting 30 frames a second and 4K? Yes, you could shoot 4K 60p, but you would have to use an Atomos Ninja externally out at 4422 bit out. But there's a lot of features here we have to go through to just let you guys know. But think about it, like this is a way better camera over the Canon. So Canon, you are definitely your camera. I'm not bashing. You know what? I am bashing. I'm actually bashing because this is why I don't even shoot with the brand anymore. I like the C200 and the C300. Don't get me wrong, but when Canon starts doing this to photographers, it angers me. It does. It just really angers me that Canon decided like, hey, you don't have enough followers, so we're going to actually tell you we take our statement back. Technically, can the photographer sue for defamation of character here? That's the question. Because Canon hired her and then fire her. If she signs something, she might be able to. Defamation of character. Because Canon hired her and then they fired her after like what, hours later? Come on. That's defamation of character. Telling me that I'm like basically telling me that not only that I don't have 50,000 followers, but you think I'm a shitty photographer. But obviously you hired me in the first place, which means I'm not a shitty photographer. Then you take your statement back. That's defamation of character there. Don't you guys agree? I think so. But with that said, guys, I didn't mean to get off topic, but I wanted to also add that to this video, so I don't have to make another video to later on. But oh my god, it's 11. I got a meeting at 12. Alright, I gotta get going, guys, but thank you for watching. If you guys want to support what I do, the website 616 Studios, all the social media links are right here on the top of the page. And there's a PayPal donation link right there. You don't need a PayPal account to donate. But with that said, eat, sleep, photography, videography, and repeat. And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Happy shooting.